in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Contest of Speed. We are here for our first round of the season. Season 14 kicks off today in Australia. AM3 is your first tier up tonight. I am Red Devil, and I'm joined by Fragley tonight. Hey, Fragley, how are you doing?
I'm doing good tonight. Excited for the race. Australia is going to be a fun first track to start with this season.
Definitely. I'm expecting a lot of track limits, a lot of invalid laps in qualifying. Should be a fun one. It should be interesting to see how many penalties there are. But yeah, hopefully it's as minimum as possible. But yeah, welcome to the comms booth. How are you feeling? First time here,
I'm feeling
so hopefully you're excited.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I think it should be a lot of fun. Excited to see the competition in AM3. I know they're going to be fast, so excited to kind of see how these 14 start off the track today.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you who didn't know, your brother is racing in AM3. So do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, so my brother is racing here. It's actually Sir Razzle. He's going to be in the kit car, so a little bit of rooting for him on my side during the race, but it kind of excited just to see where he lands in it because I know it's his actual first season with the Contest of Speed, so it should be exciting.
Yeah, we won't blame you if there's a little bit of bias, but hopefully, you can still be unbiased in the comment box. But I know you'll be rooting for him, so yeah, excited to see what he does for this season. A lot of new drivers as well, a lot of returnees. Some of the new drivers going through the grid. Krev Ham in the Haas as well, a new driver. Excited to see what he's all about. But yeah, we'll head into qualifying. Let's see. Let's enable a few things. Get the track map going and some lap data. Let's see who's first on track. It's the Mercs. We're out of. Oh, I believe it's actually Scary Terry. He's going to be starting us off. Yeah. Uh, uh, by the way, if you all didn't know, everybody in the chat, hello. Sorry if I missed saying hello to you guys. There's predictions up. So go ahead and make your predictions in, or get your predictions in. There's about 25 minutes roughly left, I want to say. So get that in before it runs out. Uh, so I think the prediction is what's the total penalty points we're going to see today? Under 35.5 or over. So, yep, don't forget to do that. as we head into qualifying.
Yeah, I think track limits is going to be playing a big role into this. I feel like this track, it's a fast track, and some of these corners, they can just get away from you very quickly. So I feel like that's going to be playing a real big thing in this quali. Excited to see how some of these drivers approach it.
Yeah, for sure. As we go on board with Scary Terry here, going through turn one. 1 and 2, DRS open. I still see his lights blinking, so I'm not sure what happened as Rainbow Demon has left the session. If you have him, can you please invite him back into the lobby?
Yes, I've got that.
Oh, okay. They crashed apparently, and their game crashed. So not sure what's going on there. But Scary Terry going through the first sector, a 27-9 split. Not sure why they're still not using their battery deployment. If you're listening, oh, finally he turns it on. So I'm not sure. 46-2 going through the fast left right-hander at the end of sector 2, starting sector 3. DRS wide open going through what I'm told is the Ascari chicane, which I was surprised because I thought that was a corner in Monza, but yeah, going through the final set of corners, hugs the inside, going through the final sector, DRS wide open, about to cross the line. It's a 1:19.6 provisional pole.
Okay, that's a pretty quick lap around the track. I'm excited to see where all these drivers land within that.
As Gustavo does a 19.5, takes pole position away from Scary Terry. Let's see here, who's next? Okay, Sweens. We're going on board with the V-Carb driver. Also has the rear lights blinking. Coming through the final corner, DRS wide open. Doesn't look like it's going to be a very competitive lap. It's a 1:21.8, but maybe they're starting their hot lap now, so let's
Looks
go
like
on.
there's a decent spread going on around here.
Yeah, I think, yeah, top two are in the 19s. Let's see what the Aston of Chipman can do, reserving tonight instead of, I believe, Hysteria goes pole by 2 seconds with a 17.6. Fantastic lap as your brother crosses the line with an 18.1, 5 tenths off the pace, but still a good time, P2.
Yeah, I think that's a great time kind of for Chipman, especially up top with that 117. That's going to be a fast one to beat.
For sure, as we see the new driver, Crev Ham, coming through the final set of corners. It runs a little bit wide there, but gets a little bit loose as well, but holds the car pretty well, opens up the DRS. Sweets disqualified from the session. Not sure what happened there as Crevham goes sixth. We'll try to go on board with Sweens. Oh, I think they were trapped in the gravel. And yeah, unfortunately for them, they are disqualified. Remember, drivers, if you are beached and you're not able to move the car, you can reset the track. That's the only scenario where you'll be able to reset the track.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Sweens, especially that early in the qualifying and unable to get any times up, and especially with that just being a frustrating stuck in the gravel. There's probably a quick little slide or something that happened to him. I feel like this track can get super slippery, especially on these soft tires.
Yeah, for sure. As looks like who's on a flyer here? Let's see. Scary
Got a couple
Terry.
on our out lap.
Probably Angel is starting their hot lap. So let's go on board with the Aston. Or going on board with Crab Ham here. He was 4 tenths out, but actually decides to go into the pits. So let's go on board with Angel. Coming through the first sector. See what his time is. A 27.6. That seems like a decent sector time.
Pretty quick, but I feel like there's so much time to gain in that second sector.
Yeah, especially if you have a lot of battery left, instead of deploying it initially in the lap, you can, pretty much use all your battery here. goes down to sixth gear in those fast chicane. Uh, Probably better option is to go on seventh, but yeah, also depends on driver preference. Hits the apex nicely, going into the final sector. Last few corners, takes it very cautiously. Going down to second, going up to third, going and fourth, up to the final corner, opens up the DRS, about to cross the line, sets in a 119.9 to take him up to P6.
Yeah, that was an impressive lap around there, right there. That looked real quick going around that last sector, so good to see where he can kind of gain that time coming forward.
Yeah, for sure. As we see Rainbow Demon in their first outlap, as VSC Colin Hell puts his car in P5 with an 18.5. A lot of drivers in the 18s, except for Chipman, who's running away with a 17.6. That's such an impressive time from Chipman, honestly.
Yeah, that's a very impressive time. I know I've been practicing for our AM2 tomorrow, and a 117 it's a perfect lap around here, sort of. So good job by him being able to hit those apexes and coming out of that pretty smoothly.
Yeah, for sure. As we see Rainbow Demon, I did not catch the first sector split, unfortunately, but we shall see what the sector split is in a short while. It's a 46-0. It showed up as purple, but I don't think it is a full purple though. As we see their DRS is wide open, hugs the inside. Now it goes round to the outside of the track to get a better exit out of. I forget the corner numbers, honestly. Yeah,
Yeah, those are tough to remember once you get into this.
yeah, for sure. As
Oh,
they,
sliding out of the corner.
yeah, fully mounted the curbs there. Not the most efficient way to enter the corner, nor have they opened up their DRS, which is weird. But they set a time of a 21.1 down in P12. Let's see M1K here, getting to your slipstream, I think, from the driver ahead. Sets a fast time of a 17.5, provisional pole for the Alpine.
Look at that. That was an impressive lap right there. I think him getting that slipstream kind of helped down that last little main part to give him that last little boost, probably to take that pole position right there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it, yeah, seeing how little the gap is between P1 and P2, I think definitely that helped. Let's see what Chipman has in response. He's still in the pits though, so we will go on board with the Mercedes of Gustavo. He is 3 tenths up on his time currently. He needs a good lap in to get into the mix in the 18s, so needs about a second. But it's still a good start, getting almost a second. 3 tenths in the first sector. 4 tenths up.
Looks like he's going to do a little bit of track. He's following a Ferrari right now behind it, so hopefully that didn't have any impact on his time right there.
As we see them going through the final set of corners. Over those curves a little bit can get you loose, so I would avoid the curves, but he seemed to do it pretty well. Going through the final corner, opens up the DRS, no deployment left though. Crossing the line with an 18.8, he stays P10, but is now a little bit closer to the pack a little bit, I want to say.
Yeah, it was definitely an improvement on that lap compared to his previous time. Definitely got probably a little bit more time to get up there into those 9 and 8s. But it looks like well, we're all in the 18s, then top two are in the 17, so a pretty big spread between the top two, I would say, at the moment. And then everybody else, I feel like it's kind of all up in game right now for 3 to 11.
Yeah, for sure. As we saw Graham improving his time, but not by a lot though. Still stage P12. Scary Cherry's on the lap, I believe. ASAP Logie was on the lap too. He is almost half a second up going through the middle sector. So if his time, if he can improve in the final sector, he might be looking at the top 3, top 4 here. Hopefully he has some deployment left for the final straight. He is blinking though. Maybe he's on a none ERS deployment mode right now. As he comes out of the final corner, opens up that DRS. No battery left though, but about to cross the line. He should be somewhere in the 18s. No, a 17.9 to take him up to P3. Only three drivers in the 17s at the moment.
That was an impressive lap. Yeah, I mean, the 117, it looks like as the track's going on too, everyone's getting a little bit better on their timings right now. Still looks like basically everybody is on a new tire that's about to put up a time. We have one driver, BSC, that's on lap 3 old soft, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how the tires help out with this as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, as the track evolves and you put on new softs, your time should improve by a lot. So we shall see what these drivers are able to pull off in the final moments of qualifying. But going on board with the Ferrari here of Widjay through the middle sector, purple middle sector, 6 tenths up on his time. So he's looking at a good 17 something. Will he challenge for pole though? He is blinking already, so not sure how much battery he has left for the final sector or the final set of corners here. But coming around the penultimate corner, hugs the inside. It takes the curve a little bit, but gets a good exit out of the final corner. DRS wide open, about to cross the line. I'm going to say something 17. 17.9 P4 for the Ferrari. That's an impressive lap.
Yeah, that was. I was watching his battery as well, and I saw he was saving it up for that last little stretch right there in the um, last sector to just put it all in. Once he opened his DRS, he was trying to open ERS and everything as well. So definitely trying to save that, and I feel like that's such an important on these straights. They've got some long straights on this track, so got to make sure you got that speed going down the long straights.
Yep. As we're on board with Razzle, do you want to take over and go through his final sector here?
Yeah, so it looks like he's going around the final sector. It looked like he might have locked out a little bit. Oh, and it looks like he did a complete spin right there on the track. Not quite sure what exactly happened to him, but looks like that might be the end of that lap for him. He's going to be coming in at a, let's see, a 125.6. So yeah, lost a lot of time with that spin right there. He's going to have to try to give it another go
Yep.
in these last couple of minutes.
Yeah, maybe I think he just got nervous because you stepped up and started talking about his lap, honestly. I think he cursed him.
Yeah, he knew it too. He probably heard me and he was like, "Oh no."
Well, hopefully he
But
has some time to get back in and put on a new set, but not sure with only 3 minutes left in qualifying.
if he wants to get in, I feel like if drivers want to get into there, they've got to do it quickly. This is kind of a long track to get around, so you want to at least leave yourself, I would say, at least a minute and a half trying to drive around on your outlap. So it'll be interesting to see what we kind of get in these last 3 minutes of the race.
Yeah, for sure. As we see the Ferrari of Tin Man the Rowdy about to cross the line, a 17.9 for him as well. Only about 12 hundredths faster than his teammate. The Ferraris occupying P4 and P5 at the moment. As we see go on board with Chipman here, probably his final lap. Can he take down M1K and grab that pole position? Going through the first sector, he is 3 tenths up on his time, so he's looking at a 17 ones, maybe low 17s, high 18s if he is able to keep this up. Let's see here, going through the middle sector, DRS wide open. He's still 3 tenths up on his time. Purple middle sector gets a good exit out of the chicane. Coming up to Ascari, turn number I do not know. Apologies. Going through the last set of corners, gets a good exit out of that one. Hugs the inside, doesn't go too wide, which is probably a good thing. Opens up the DRS. Looks like he saved enough battery though. Coming across the line with a 17.3 provisional pole for Chipman in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, watching that lap, he was flying. He had perfect exits coming out. Didn't look like he was sliding or anything. So that was a really, really good lap by Chipman. and that might be a hard one to beat at 17.3. That's a fast lap.
As we see his closest rival, M1K, going through the first sector, he was about 3 tenths up, but looks like he lost a lot of time going through the middle sector. He really needs to nail this final set of corners to be able to challenge Chipman for that pole position, but looks like there's a Ferrari in the way. Oh, he gets a slide coming out of that corner, so I'm not sure if he has enough ERS to be able to start another lap, but crossing the line, he's only able to do a 17.8. No improvement for him.
Yeah, 17.8 is still a quick lap, but yeah, he hit the curb on coming into one of those last few corners, which I feel like caused him to slide and lose quite a bit of time, but that could have been pole position if he would have gotten that. So still great lap by him. Um,
As we see, the Haas of Scary Terry puts his car into P3. Let's go on board with who's next across the line? It looks like one of the Mercedes, but no, ASAP Lobby dives into the pits. Let's see here. What about Krev Ham? Looks like they've invalidated their lap, so not gonna get any improvement. Surazzle is coming through the final set of corners. He's probably the next to cross the line, so I'll let you take over. And let's see
that's
if he's able to do the corners this time.
Looks like he was able to make that corner. It looked like he's saving enough. He's got DRS and ERS fully deployed. So let's see where this puts him on. And doesn't look like too much of an improvement on time. Still going to stay in P7 for him. So good quality with that. Next, it looks like
Paul in Hell is about to cross the line with a 17.7, a P4 for him. That looks like a good lap for the McLaren. Let's see, the last one to cross the line, Rainbow Demon, doesn't have a front wing, so I think that's quali right there.
say so too. Is Jay still in the lobby, or did
I
he?
think he just retired in the
Okay.
session, so yeah. But do keep an eye out if he does say something, so you never know. But I believe he retired from the session. As we,
Well, that looked like it was a fun quality today. I'll say that.
yeah, the top, what's that? Three, four drivers did quite well, all in the 17s. Top seven in the 17s actually. But yeah, Chipman and M1K look like they're probably the drivers to beat, along with Scary Terry. They had some good laps. M1K probably made a mistake in his qualifying lap, final qualifying lap at least. If not, I think they would have challenged Chipman too. But yeah, going through the final qualifying order for tonight, the first race in AM3, Chipman qualifies on pole position with a 17.3, M1K behind him with a 17.5. P3 is Scary Terry, 4 is Paul in Hell, 5 is ASAP Loggy, with Tin Man in P6, with Jay in 7, Razzle in P8, Electric Entree in 9, Gustavo in 10, Angel in 11, Krev Ham in 12, 13 is Rainbow, and Sweens, after disqualifying pretty early, is down in P14. Pretty decent qualifying, not gonna lie. Top 5, top 6, pretty close. Who do you think is probably favorite to win this one? Predictions? Oh, just
Ooh.
before that, it is pouring down here, folks. I think it is full wet conditions out here in Albert Park in Australia. This is, oh God, I remember I did a race in full wets, I think last season, and it was carnage after carnage, safety car after safety car. So I just hope for these drivers that they can keep it together and we still have a fun race. So yeah. So, uh, yeah,
the rain is
predictions.
gonna rain is gonna bring this one to a different level. I think today. Now, every time I race in the rain, it's just a totally different race, and the entire race is up for good.
As we see here, five lights, and away we go. Good start from Chipman. Good start from M1K as well. Decent start from everyone in the grid, actually. Wow, these As Scary Terry, though, gets a perfect launch and is now up into P1. A lot of carnage here in the middle, but looks like no retirements or anything, so that's good. I don't know if anybody lost their wings or something like that. Let's see here. No, looks like...
It looked like there was a Mercedes or a Haas just got spun out.
Oh, Scary
Ooh,
Terry,
that was
though.
Scary Terry.
Oh no, from the lead of the race is now falling back, is in last place. Entree too had a moment or something. He's down in P13. Scary Terry, hits the wall and loses a wing. That is unfortunate as we head back up to the top. Chipman is leading the race. M1K closely behind. They left ASAP Locky a little bit, 1.1 seconds behind.
Yeah, it looks like this is a close race right now coming into 1 and 2, and then if they can keep that up and keep that second, I think that'll be kind of good for them, but you'll never know in this rain.
Yeah, a very interesting start here. It looks like Rainbow Demon had a fantastic start up into P8. Drivers not really having a good time as we see a Mercedes going into the gravel up in Ascari. Krev Ham, fantastic start from him. He was down in P13, P12. He's now up into P4. A fantastic start from the Haas driver. He's slipping and sliding, but he is keeping his car up in the top 4.
Yeah, he is flying. He has gained 8 positions in 2 laps, so that was pretty impressive. And it looks like we've also got the Rainbow Demons up 6 places, and we've also got Swings, who's up 5 from their original spot. So looks like we got a few drivers kind of benefiting from this rain that it just brings chaos.
As we see here, Swings trying to make a move on who's that? Rainbow Demon. The Ferraris going side by side as well. Looks like a lot of battles here in the midfield. Ferrari of Tin Man and Woodjay trying to gain a few positions as Woodjay goes wide but is able to keep the car on track. Let's actually look at the tires too to see what these guys are on. I'm guessing most of them are in the full wets. Yes, no shock right there.
It looks like full wet conditions out there. You can see the puddling, and even with these full wets, you can see them sliding around.
As we see, Krev Ham is dropping from the top 3. VSC Paulin Hell and Surazzle are about to catch the Haas driver. Does get a little bit loose there, but is able to keep the positions. We see here top 3 still running closely behind each other. As M1K, big slide there from him. Loses the car, goes onto the grass, but is able to take control of it again, and is now down in P3 as Chipman sets the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, that is a bummer right there, slipping into the grass, but at least he can keep his car on track and at least get back on there, because you don't know what's going to happen during any of these wet races. So definitely looks interesting. It looks like we just did get Surazzle to get to P5, so it looks like he's also got VC coming up behind him though, so we'll see what they do right there in that little midfield battle.
Yeah, that was a good move from the Kick Sauber driver, as he's now all over the back of Krev Ham. Top 2 are pushing though. They've left M1K after his mistake. Not sure if he'll be able to catch back up. He is 2.1 seconds down. Krev Ham is a further 3 seconds behind the Alpine. Let's see here. Entree though, after the initial mistake, not sure what happened. He's up into P10, all over the back of the Ferrari of Tin Man the Rowdy.
Yeah, it looks like he is coming back into this race. Hopefully he might be able to catch up. He's all over the back of that Ferrari right now, coming into the final sector, or at the end of Sector 2, coming into the beginning of Sector 3. We'll see what he can do in these corners. It looks like he just locked up a little bit right there, running wide from following that Bahari. So he's now a second below Tin Man.
as Gustavo is the first person to violate track limits tonight as he gets a 3-second time penalty. M1K, though, looking to come back into this race with a fastest lap with a 34, as Sweens beats him with a 34.7. Not sure if the track is improving, but ASAP Loggy now, the Mercedes goes into the lead. Chipman down in P2. M1K, though, is right there. I missed the move of Surazzle, though. He's up into P4. Krev Ham and Paul and Hell are fighting it out for P5. Sweens is also right there. Krev Ham looks like he is having a tough time, though. He's slipping and sliding, but he's still up. Oh, as Scary Terry retires. Is that in the pit?
I cannot tell where he may be in the pit. I do believe he went to the pit and retired for this race.
That is unfortunate. He had a great start, but then spun out. Not sure if that was on his own accord or not, but he has left the session. And unfortunate for the Haas driver, as his teammate, though, is trying to hold up both VSC Paulinel and Sweens. Razzle is getting away. These two need to make a move on the Haas driver pretty quick if they want to catch the Kick Sauber car.
Yeah, it looks like Surazzle's kind of being able to take away with all the fighting happening between those three right now, between Krev, VC, and it looks like Sweens is all in that battle, so I would say you never really know what's going to happen when you got three coming in. I always say you're in the last, when you're watching the two fight in front of you, it's always like an opportunity for that driver to overtake two.
Oh!
And we did just see a big, big, big slide there.
Everybody's sliding out of there. I saw Krev, Paul, Swedes, and Rainbow slide out of that corner, but nobody's in the wall, so thank God for that.
Yeah, that was some impressive driving and handling to be able to keep their cars on track, but very unfortunate because especially on a straight like that, you lose so much time going on. But it looked like since a lot of people were sliding into that corner, it doesn't look too bad. It does look like Sweens in that Visa Cash App car is sliding a little bit, and it does look like the McLaren just went wide into that corner as well, so.
Yeah, I see the McLaren, though, is all over the back of the Haas driver. Will he be able to make the move going into turn 11 and 12, I think, the faster cans? Yes, he does. Sweens looking to follow him. Trying to three-car battle here, three wide. The Haas, though, does not lose two positions, only loses one. Paul in Hell does make it up to P5 and will now look to get away from this battle and catch Razzle in P4.
Ooh, yes. I don't know if I just saw a front wing break, I think, off of Sweens, or I do believe Sweens has front wing damage now, so it'll be interesting to see what he decides to go do.
Yes, they do not have a right end plate, but is going to carry on as ASAP Loggy sets the fastest lap of the race, is now 1 second clear of Chipman. M1K also not, he's not been able to catch these guys, but he's still within a second of the top two.
Yeah, it looks like the top three kind of have a second between each other, and they're just trying to be a consistent race, it looks like right now. Just get those laps in, try to be safe. I did just see ASAP take a big slide into that corner, so I think it's important for these drivers just to make sure they play it safe and try to just keep that pace, though it does look like ASAP is building that gap, and Chipman's building that gap to M1K right now.
As we see here, Krev again is being chased by four cars, Rainbow, Entree, and Tin Man the Rowdy. Let's see if Rainbow Demon is able to complete this move on the Haas driver. Goes down the inside, goes on the grass. Big slide, but is able to complete the move and is up into P7. And I think Tin Man got a little bit loose there, but yeah, he's now falling behind Haas. As we see,
yeah, that was a great move.
Widjay, though, loses the car and is in the grass, is now 8 seconds behind the leader, so that's unfortunate for him. As we see the top two setting fastest lap after fastest lap. I think the track is getting better. I don't see as many wet puddles as I did at the start.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the track is starting to look better. Not as wet, obviously it's still. I can't. Obviously it's raining, but yeah, I think it might be getting a little better. I'm curious to see if they might have a dry track by the end of this race to be able to race in.
I'm curious to see if it changes to interweather though, because M1K seems like he is dropping, and that big slide there from him, but is still able to keep the car. Surazzle is catching the Alpine. Uh, let's see here. Let's go back to this battle for P7. Rainbow Demon leads that with Krev, Tinman, Entree all over the back of the kick. This seems like the closest battle in the grid.
The McLaren electric entry is right on Krev, right? Or is it Krev?
No,
No,
Tin
he's
Man.
right on Tin Man right now. The Ferrari, he is on the back of him. So let's see if he can do anything coming out into this corner. And it looks like he's staying behind him at the moment, but he's definitely keeping up the pressure on that Ferrari right now. So
Yeah, he's still all over the back of Tin Man. Tries to dive down the inside, goes over those curbs, but cannot complete the move as Rainbow Demon is still in the lead of this train. Krev, Tin Man, and Entree closely behind. Top two, those opening up a gap on P3 of M1K. Razzle catching the top two very quickly. As Swede says, the fastest lap with a broken wing. That is impressive from the V-Carb driver.
that is impressive. And he's gunning right on the back of the VS McLaren right now. So let's see what he can do. He's right on him. It looks like he's trying to stay behind him. This is not the corner to overtake on wet. So he's
Oh,
going to
as
pull out
as
right
we
here.
see
It looks
yellows.
like he is swinging.
Oh, M1K though. Razzle makes a move on M1K. He's now up into P3. Not sure if that was a mistake from the Alpine, but yeah, Surazzle is up into P3. M1K though looking to come back at him immediately, going into turns 11 and 12, but Surazzle closes the door and but he gets a better exit though. M1K is all over the back. Will he be able to complete the move going into Ascari? Goes down the outside, down the inside, but no bueno, no move. Surazzle defends the position excellently.
Yeah, and it looked like M1K hit the curb and slid out of that one, and it looked like he locked up his brakes when he decided he didn't want to go for the dive bomb into that corner. So that was unfortunate for him going into that, but it looks like Surazzle is just gaining on that time, and he has an impressive speed right now. He gained that 3.5 seconds very quickly in about a lap. So interesting to see if he can keep that up to catch up to Chipman and P2 right now.
Would be interesting to see what the strategy is from these drivers. If it is going to be inters, who's the first to blink? Who's the first to take that risk and go onto the intermediate tires? That is going to be interesting. That is going to be crucial because you don't want it to do it too early because those inters won't get up to temperature, and it'll be similar to how Schultz and everybody did in the Silverstone race, if you remember in F1. As we see here, Swedes and Paul and Hell going side by side. Swedes decides to back off. But yeah, the main problem with putting on inters is you probably won't get the temperature up and you won't get the grip. But yeah, we shall see when's the right time for these drivers. As Razzle has opened up a gap on M1K, 2.2 seconds now.
It does look like he is he's kind of in a race of his own at the moment in P3 with 6 seconds behind P2, and then he's gaining that 2 seconds. So we'll see if this fight between ASAP Logi and Chipman may slow that down, though, because it looks like they are very close to each other on this track, and we'll see. They are sliding around a lot. ASAP Logi just went a little bit into the wall right there off track, so
Oh, I
it
think
looks like
there's
these
an
two are going to be
Aston.
fighting.
I saw yellow, so I thought Aston, there's a problem with the Aston, but no, he's gotten going. Chipman and ASAP Logi just sliding all over the place, but still keeping the car going in P1 and P2. Surazzle, though, has been able to close the gap. It was 6.5 seconds. It's now down to 6. So that is an impressive, that's impressive driving there from the King. driver. Let's see if he can close that gap up lap by lap. There's still 20 laps to go in this race. Plenty of time to catch up.
And it looks like down an electric entree right now. He is still on the back of Tim Man in the Ferrari, and he is pushing him right now. So he might be coming in because they've got a kick car right in front of him, Rainbow, Damon. So those three are going to be getting into a real close fight pretty soon, I believe, on this upcoming straight. So
yeah, I think both Tin Man and Electric were able to make the move on Creb Ham. Not sure if he made the mistake there to lose 2 positions, but he's now down in P10, the last points blank positions, as Electric Entree is now all over the back of Tin Man. But he's not able to complete the move. But he's all over the back of this diffuser now. Will he go for that dive bomb, or will Tin Man be able to cover up the outside? No, he shuts the door, and there's no room for Entree to make the move. He's still down in P9.
it looks like they're down in P9 and Tim Man, and he looks like he's trying to catch up to Rainbow to hopefully get him into that fight and pass him right now. And they look like they're slipping, so I'm interested to see, yeah, when we're going to see that first change in tires, and if that does go to intermediate tires, because it does look, from my end, it looks like it may be lightening up a little bit compared to what we saw at the beginning of this race. So
yeah, for sure. As we see Electric Entree with a bit of a love tap there on Tin Man the Rowdy, but Tin Man makes a move on Rainbow Demon and is now up into P7. Rainbow gets a little bit loose there going over the curbs, but is able to hold on to P8 for now, as now Electric Entree will look to make the move on the kick driver. Looks like Krev lost a position to Angel as well, and is now down in P11. Meanwhile, Razzle, though, is now cut the gap to only 4.6 seconds. He's probably half a tenth faster, or half a second faster, sorry, than the top 2, or at least Chipman, because it was 6 seconds not too long ago. So he is closing.
yeah.
But looks like there was a track limits violation there from the kick driver. Hopefully that doesn't get him a penalty.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by all these drivers right now. That we only, I believe, 1 3-second penalty for those track limits. So these drivers are doing a really great job of keeping their cars on track within limits. So good driving by them, because I know it's slippery out on those wets right now. And as they keep going this race, I know those tires are wearing down. So good driving by all of them.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in these conditions, to get only one person to DNF, I believe it's because they lost the car or something like that, so that's why they did. But other than that, all of these drivers are still keeping the car on the track and driving, really well. So hats off to everybody for doing that, as Angel gets a 3-second time penalty. That is going to be costly for him, because if it stays like this, he will lose that final points playing positions to Krev.
Yes.
As Entree is still unable to make the move on Rainbow Demon here, which probably might allow Tin Man the Rowdy to open up a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, it looks like these three are they're fighting on their own, but yeah, it looks like there might be a little bit of a gap breaking out, because I feel like Rainbow might have to start defending against Entree soon here, as Entree comes real close to Demon's back of his diffuser. So you can definitely tell Entree looks like he's trying to make that push and make that pass as soon as possible.
As Rainbow gets all over the curbs there, but is still able to keep the car together, as Chipman sets the fastest lap of the race with a 32.0. It feels like inter conditions, though, from what I see. There's no puddles on track. It is wet, but I don't know. There's some dry lines seem to be appearing, so not sure. As Entree, though, goes down the inside, looking to challenge Rainbow Demon, going into turn 1, side by side. Can he get the move done, though? Goes a little bit wide. It's not the optimal racing line. Rainbow Demon is able to hold on to the position. Great defending there from the Kick Sauber driver.
Yeah, that was some impressive driving right there. It looked like Entree lost his front right coming out at the end of that, which kind of lost him a little bit of time. But that was a great defensive move by Rainbow, trying to keep him on the outside right there, because it looks like he is coming right back up on him right now, and he's just going to stay behind him going into this corner, going onto the main straight, and we're going to see if he's able to catch up with his ERS, because it looks like he's got 80% left. So we'll see if he's going to just turn that on to get that speed boost.
As we were talking about this battle here, Krev Ham blinks first, and he's the first driver on those intermediate tires. So we'll be interested to see what his lap times are going to be like if he is able to catch someone like a Gustavo. Uh, that was a brave move by him. Nothing to lose there because he was down in P11. Looks like he is gaining though. He is gaining. He gained almost a second in a couple of corners. M1K dives into the pits, and I believe he's going to get those fresh set of intermediates. VSC Paul in hell as well. So it looks like now is the time to move on to those intermediates. We shall see when these top two decide to blink. Electric Entree into the pits as well, along with yeah, that's about it. Only those three drivers in. Let's see if Krev can undercut all of these guys and come out ahead. Not sure. He's up. He is going through the final set of corners. Entree is still coming out of the pits.
Yeah, let's see where he ends up behind him right here. Looks like he's going down the straight. I think the move is to move to intermediates right now. I think you're going to see all the drivers head to that sort of tire right now.
As
It'd be
Witche,
interesting to see if someone took another wet on or made it a 3-tire race or something like that.
yeah, I think it's probably best for intermediates right now, as we see Witche set the fastest lap of the race with a 132 something, I believe. Uh, Electric Entree was having trouble passing Tin Man and Rainbow Demon. Maybe this will give him the undercut that he needs to get that position, as the top two are now into the pits as Krev Ham gets a 3-second time penalty.
Looks like Serrazo is following them all into the pit, so it looks like those three are going to be going in and making their tire changes to their intermediates.
Swedes also following the top three. We'll be interested to see if they are going to replace their wing as Rainbow Demon decides to carry on. That is a very interesting decision from the Haas driver. King driver. Maybe because they didn't want to double stack, maybe?
That could be a possibility because that does take up a little bit of time, but that's definitely an interesting choice with all these drivers making their way into the pits of keeping out on the wets. Because watching Wit at the bottom put up the fastest lap, I definitely think that's the smartest move right now on track.
As Tin Man and Sweens probably got a new wing change. They're now down in P7 and 8. Entree, though, goes around the outside. A fantastic move from him. Gets Sweens coming out of the pits and is now up into P7. A fantastic move, a very daring move, too, because Sweens was just coming out of the pits right there. And it's a very interesting corner to come out of. The pit exit is very, I don't know. I feel like I'm really scared coming out of the pits, especially if someone's coming down the straight. But you make the moves, you dare, you get the position, and that's what Entree did there. Let's have a look at the replay too. It's a fantastic move from him. Swedes coming out of the pits as we see Electric Entree should be coming out the back here. See here, him diving down the outside, getting the move down up into P7.
Yeah, that was an impressive move. That was a great move by him, and not only did he gain, or he made that impressive move, he also put 2 seconds between them. So that was really, really smart on his part, and a risky move that paid off.
Yeah, for sure. As we finally see Rainbow Demon, the last of the cars on those wet tires to come in for a new set of intermediates. Not sure how many positions they would lose though. Coming out of the pits, they are in P8, so probably not a lot. Angel, I believe, changed their wing, so sorry, not Angel, Sweens. So they're down in P9 at the moment. They're gonna have to do all the work again to get back up into P. I think they were in P5 maybe.
Yeah, and it does look like Sweens, though, too, is also on a fresh set of wet tires. So I don't believe
Oh.
he did his change. So he's going to have to go back in the pit to get a different tire at some point throughout this race. So
Yeah, you're right. He's the only driver on another set of full wets, which is interesting. Not sure if it's the glitch from the game, as we know there are a lot, but hopefully for his sake, not a lot of time is lost in the pits as Electric Entree gets a 3-second time penalty. Not a lot of battles on the grid at the moment as ASAP Locky extends his gap. Chipman answers right back with a fast lap with a 29. Oh, Surazaldo. Surazel? Yeah, Surazel.
to Razzle.
Yeah, sets a fast lap now with a 29 something. He's now trying to close in on those top two.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of spread out in a bit right now through that track. So that pit stop definitely kind of created some gaps between this. And I think, yeah, we'll be able to tell from here of what drivers decide to kind of close those gaps and who's going to be trying to have to defend through some of those. So we'll see. I know Entree just got a 3-second time penalty, but he's got 9 seconds between him and that Ferrari. So he's just got to keep his pace up and try to keep him, or no, he's got 3 seconds between the Ferrari. My bad, I misread that.
Yeah.
So he's got to keep that pace up to keep that Ferrari behind him if he wants to be able to keep his position by the end of this race.
I think the only closest battle on the grid right now is between these three here, Rainbow Sweens and Angel. As Sweens just big crash,
Rainbow.
huge crash. Goes into the wall, and Rainbow Demon is out of this race. Oh God. Let's have a look at the replay there. They were doing so well coming out of that fast right-hander. Not sure what happened there. Let's see here. Uh, I think they just lost it and ended up in the wall. Safety car. Oh God, that was such a huge crash.
Yeah, that was a massive crash at those high speeds right there too. It looked like one of them must have just lost it, and I think they had a little bit of contact between Sweens, I believe, and that driver, if I would have saw that correctly. But yeah, it looked like he just got put straight into the wall.
Yeah, they were doing so well. Yeah, that was a huge crash. I remember 2 seasons ago in AM1 we had a similar incident, and 4 drivers DNF'd in that particular corner. So yeah, it's a very notorious corner to go through. And yeah, let's see the chat here to see what people are saying. Traction. I didn't lose it. I lost traction. Okay, that is
Yes.
unfortunate. Let's see here. No, you don't have to use 2 sets of compound deboom. You can do an entire race without pitting if it's wet. Uh, I,
Oh, good to know.
yeah, I did that 2 seasons ago, I believe, Australia, full wet. I took that tire to the end of the race. I don't know how. And yeah, I think 3 drivers went did the entire race on full wets. And yeah, I think my tires were at probably 80-85%. And yeah, I don't know how we completed that one. I think Kryptonic, who's in AM1 with me, he'll remember that race. We fought till the end to keep that car on track, honestly. So yeah.
Yeah, once those tires start wearing, that's tough to really start fighting from, especially at tire wear of 88%. I mean,
Yeah.
keeping the car on track is not easy. So
Yeah, for sure. Let's see if anybody pits though here. I think Widjay just went into the pits and put on a fresh set of intermediates. Swedes, though, interestingly, does not go into the pits. I thought this would have been a great opportunity to switch tires and go on to those intermediate tires, press in a bit, instead of intermediates, especially on a track which has a very high wear. I'm not sure how the wear in the intermediates are or in the wets. I haven't been a wet lapper. But yeah, I would have figured they would have probably put on a press in. But we shall see how it works out for them, though.
Yeah, we'll see because it's still I'm looking at the onboard of some of the drivers and there's definitely still a lot of rain coming down on track. So I don't see any more puddles. It does look like it is entered weather, so we might see if that may cost them a little bit of time since the safety car kind of rebunched everyone back up together. So um, we'll kind of see how that plays out, but it's definitely going to be an interesting restart to this race and kind of see where everybody lands up because we had a few, most of the drivers had a gap or two between them, and we had one kind of group of drivers that were fighting. So now that they're all bunched up, especially the top three, it's kind of I'm interested to see who's gonna be able to come out of turn one at the top of that.
Yeah, it now opens up, the possibility of someone else other than the top two to win this race. We saw some good pace from Surazzle, as well as M1K. Electric Entree and Colin Hell probably had a good, decent pace too. Uh, yeah, so it opens up a chance for somebody else to grab the win tonight. ASAP Loggy, though, has looked the best of the bunch out here tonight, along with Chipman, I gotta say. But will be interesting to see now that the grid is bunched up. And yeah, hopefully there's no more penalties and no more incidents as Prev Ham decides to pit. Probably a wise decision coming out. They were probably at the back, so getting that fresh set of inters is probably a good call. I think they were the first ones to go on the inters too.
He is actually the first one on a hard tire right now. He just switched to a hard tire. So he may think the rain is going to be coming to an end here soon in this race, or he might feel that the track is dry enough because he just changed to a hard tire.
Ooh, that is an interesting call. I would have personally chosen the mediums with 9 laps to go. But, seeing a dry tire, that is an interesting call, though. I am seeing a lot of rain, so I'm not sure how it is going to play out for Rev. But this could be a master stroke, ladies and gentlemen. Only time will tell, as safety car is in this lap. So ASAP Loggy now gets to bunch up the field. Krev is almost at the back, so he should be good as well. I do see dry lines forming, if I'm not mistaken, but it's still drizzling though, right?
I would say it's raining still, but it definitely does look like the track is drying up for these drivers, so
Yeah.
maybe that was a smart call by his chance at the bottom of the pack right there at 12, just to put it and risk it and put on the hards and hope that this track dries up for him. And that could really play out in his favor if it does, so really interested to kind of see how this is going to go. And it looks like the first few are coming around the final corner and getting ready to get started again.
ASAP Loggy has decided to go, and he's opened up an 8/10 gap. Chipman, though, opens up a 6/10 gap over Surazzle. Surazzle and M1K battling it out going into the first corner. Tin Man the Rowdy caught a little bit here on the safety car restart. He's already a second plus down, although Surazzle has caught up right at the back of Chipman now. Entree goes into the pits for a set of medium tires, so it could be a master stroke from Krev Ham here. We shall see. He is he's still in P11, but he's slipping and sliding. But he could be the winner of this race. So if he can stick to these guys for a lap or two, that might be a master stroke. As we see good stuff making on with Jay.
Yeah, that's a risky move. It definitely sees that they see the track is drying up.
Sorry about that. I forgot to change the overlay there. I don't know why I still have the safety car sign on, but it is what it is. As we see Razzle and M1K all over the back of Chipman. Oh! M1K though hits the back of Razzle. Chipman going into the pits. Not sure if M1K has any sort of damage though from the contact. Chipman the Rowdy is in the pits. ASAP Loggy sets Razzle sets the fastest lap. M1K though looks like there is no visible damage on the car, but he does pick up a 3-second time penalty.
That's a tough one right there with that 3 seconds in that top three. He's going to have to keep his pace up or try to pass Razzle to try to keep his positions or gain enough time between anybody. So we will see, but we've got more drivers coming onto the mediums and softs right now. So it looks like that track is dry and they need to get onto that medium or that soft right now with 8 laps left.
Yeah, 8 laps left. The driver in the pole position right now, I would say, is Krev. He's now all over the back of Swedes. He has 11-second gap to the first of the dry tire runners of Chipman. So if he can make the moves or just stick to the back before these guys pit, he's going to win the race. Let's see what the top two decide. Is Razzle going to come in? Is ASAP Loggy going to come in? Or are they going to just battle it out for the next 7 laps? Because these tires are going to overheat. There is no sign of rain, ladies and gentlemen. And they decide to go. They are not going into the pits. M1K, though, decides to go into the pits. So does Paul in Hell. Angel does not. Gustavo goes into the pits. Sweens and Krev carry. Oh! As there is contact between Sweens and Krev. Not sure. Sweens was sliding all over the place. Remember, he's still on those wet tires. And Krev does make it up into P4. Let's look at that replay there. Not sure what happened. Krev was all over the back of Sweens. And Sweens looks like they just lost the car coming out of that corner. And Krev does make it up into P4. But Krev, though, he is 7 seconds off the leader, so not sure what's going to happen. Chipman is catching the Haas driver. He's now only 8.5 seconds behind. Entree being chased by M1K. Goes down the inside. No room given by Entree. Is the DRS enabled?
I don't think I've seen DRS been enabled quite yet. But with the track this dry, I'm not quite sure why it hasn't yet.
It is, though. I see the DRS lap open at the on the back of M1K's car. He goes up into P6. Krev moves up a position, is now in P3, and 7.6 seconds behind the leaders. Can he catch up? Razzle goes into the pits, though. ASAP Loggy still carrying on 7 seconds, 6.6. Krev is definitely catching 4.2 seconds. Krevham sets the fastest lap of the race with the 23.5. He's actually 7 seconds behind. Apologies. Chipman, though, does a fastest lap with a 21.7, sorry.
Yeah, so it looks like all these drivers that decided to put those tires on early are definitely benefiting that right now because they are flying. And ASAP is going to have to go into the pits this lap. Otherwise, he is out of this race if he does not.
Wait, Krev, though, he has taken the lead of the race. Krev in the Haas in his first race in Continental Speed is leading the Grand Prix here in Australia. ASAP Loggy, not sure if it was a mistake from him, but is now down into P2. He really needs to get off of those tires. They are going to be overheating so bad right now. Yeah, he's going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. It has turned so bad for ASAP Loggy. He was leading this race. Now with 5 laps to go, I don't think those intermediate tires are going to make it to the end as M1K makes a move on Chipman, goes up into the podium positions. As we have yellows, who's that? Oh, it's ASAP Loggy loses the car. He is onto the gravel, no front wing. It has gone from bad to worse for the Mercedes, as he needs to definitely go into the pits now.
And we just got our fastest lap set, I believe, by, tough time for ASAP trying to get into the pits right there. But I believe M1K just set up the fastest time of the laps, if I just saw that correctly.
Yes, it did, but the Krev, though, he picks up another 3-second time penalty. It's now up to 6 seconds, I believe. Let's look at the penalties. Yes, so if it stays like this, Chipman is going to win the race. Uh, let's see how this plays out, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a fun finish, exciting finish here at the Australian Grand Prix Round 1 here in Contest of Speed. And drama is unfolding here, ladies and gentlemen.
It looks like Chipman is coming right on the back of M1K. He's putting a ton of pressure on him right now, aiming for that P2 spot. So we'll see if he can overtake right there. And it also looks like VCS is on the Ferrari right now, going into P4, and he's trying to take a dive on the outside. Ooh, and he kind of did a spin, and the Ferrari is able to keep his position in 4.
As Ball in Hell loses a couple of positions versus his teammate, and Razzle, he's now up into P6. I think he's the only one on those soft tires. Actually, let's look at the tire graphic as well. Krev is who was the first one to pit. He's on the hards, and then there's a mix of mediums and soft tires. ASAP Loggy on the softs, and Sweens in P11 is still on those wet tires. I'm not sure how he is driving at the moment, but he is on those wet tires.
He is maybe hoping for some heavy rain coming in the last lap or two. Maybe that'll help him out if that happens. But that is an interesting call on him, just to keep on those wets right now. And it looks like we've got a bunch of these guys real close together fighting for those positions 5 through 7 right now.
As M1K slowly moving to the back of him, now only 1.5 seconds gap. BC Electric Entree making a, let's see if he can make a move on the Ferrari of Tin Man the Rowdy. Goes down the inside for those S chicanes, completes the move. Can Surazzle follow him, and can he get up into the top 5? He does not. He decides to stay behind the Ferrari driver now. As Chipman. M1K loses it, and now he is down in P3. Probably lost it. As electric
entry.
Oh no, it's all happening here in Australia. Not sure. I think he just lost the back end, as Krev, though, is now down into P2. Chipman takes the lead of the race with no time penalties against his name, is probably looking at the victory here as we take a look at the replay of what happened to Electric Entree. M1K was the first driver to spin, and then we saw Electric Entree as well having a spin of his own. He's now down in P7. It's all happening here.
Yeah, it's coming up tight on the final race. These drivers are putting it all in these corners right now.
As looks like Sweens also had a moment in those red tires. He's now down in P12. Krev, though, he's not been able to keep up with Chipman. I think Chipman is now a second over the Haas. M1K, crucially, he is still within, what is that, 3 seconds of him, because he needs to step it up if he needs to keep that podium position. He also has a 3-second time penalty. Looks like he has a little bit of a overheating issue with his tires too. He's slipping and sliding as well.
Yes, it looks like we've got M1K, Tin Man right on the back of him right now, and Sarazo on the back of him. So those three are fighting for that P3 spot right now. So, and it looks like with M1K and his time penalty, he's got to keep it up and hopefully try to gain some speed or something out of these last few laps.
Yeah, for sure, because now it looks like Tin Man the Rowdy and Razzle are going to be in... as M1K gets loose and loses 2 spots, probably 3, as Winjay retires from the session. Not sure what happened to the Ferrari driver, but going into turn 1 probably goes into the wall there. Not too sure. As we see Razzle, now can he make a move on Tin Man the Rowdy to get into the top 3? M1K, though, losing a couple position too. Apologies. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, no, you're okay. I was just going to say we've got the VSC and the McLaren is also on the back of Sarazzle, so he's got to keep an eye out for him because he is coming in hot and he's going to try to take that pole position. So Those three drivers are in a very intense battle right now, coming into the final sector, and then they're coming out. They're going to be coming into the final straights, starting the last lap of the Grand Prix.
As we see Chipman leading the race, 1.7 seconds to Krev. He has a 6-second time penalty. If it carries on, he will drop down into P5 or something. As Razzle makes a move down the inside of Tin Man the Rowdy, going into turn 1, gets him up into P3. Virtual, technically P2 though, but with the double DRS zone coming up, will he be able to keep that position as Gustavo gets another 3-second time penalty? What are we up to in terms of penalties for the
Let's take
for
a
the poll here? 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 21, I think. So yeah, there we go. 21 seconds in penalties. As we see here, Surazzle being chased by Tim and the Rowdy and Paul in Hell. Surazzle, without the aid of the DRS, is able to defend, but he goes a little bit wide. Can Tin Man the Rowdy get the position going into Ascari? Surazzle goes defensive. Tin Man needs to go around the outside. Surazzle defends the position well, but Tin Man Rowdy is able to go around the outside. He is up into P3. A technical P2 though, but he still has another DRS zone as Chipman crosses the line to win the first round. Krev crosses the line in P2. Who is going to be P3? It's going to be Tin Man, Surazzle in P4, Paulin held P5, M1K P6, Krev P7 with all after the penalties. Electric Entree P8, Gustavo in 9, Angel in 10, ASAP Wagi 11, and Sweenson 12. Still on those wet tires.
Sweens, I'll give it up to you for that race, staying on those wets, keeping to your commitment for those. So great race down there, but that was a crazy last lap between the top five right there. That was an impressive move by Tim, the Ferrari, to get ahead and be able to maintain that position. So great job on all of those drivers' ends tonight. That was a very, very fun race to watch.
As we see the last driver, ASAP Loggy, heartbreak for him. He led most of this race, but when the weather conditions changed, he was a little bit late to react, and unfortunately for him, he finishes down in P12 as Krev Ham gets the driver of the day. Oh, that was a fun race. First one, season opener. You couldn't ask for anything better.
No, you really couldn't ask for anything better with that. That was an incredibly fun one with all the drama coming in down to the last lap. That's always how you want to finish these races. So that was extremely fun to watch. And congrats again to the top three. What an impressive drive by all of you.
Yes, congratulations to the top three. Congratulations to Chipman for getting the first victory here in round one of AM3 Contest to Speed. A fantastic way to start the season. Let's go through the final standings here. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I can take us through them. So we've got in first position Chipman, and right below is Tim. In third is Sir Razzle. Fourth is VSC, followed by M1K. Then we've got Krev at 6, Electric Entree at 7. 8 is Goose. 9 Angel. 10 ASAP. Then below that we've got Sweens, Wit, Rainbow, and Scary Terry ending us at the bottom with a DNF for the race. So congrats again to those top three. What a race.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to you as well. Your brother did end up getting on the podium, so I think you know it's gonna be a happy household in your home tonight.
Yes, I definitely think it will be a happy household. Just happy for him too, because that was his first as well. So just excited to see all these new faces really putting in a good race.
Yeah, for sure. As we will go ahead with the interviews. Let me invite everybody into uh, our VC here. It was Chipman, Surazzle, and who was it? Tin Man the Rowdy.
I let me go check and see. Yeah, Chipman, Tim, and Sir Razzle.
as we wait for them to join, ladies and gentlemen, give us a minute. Uh, maybe you can just recap the race for everybody watching.
Yeah, so it started off in a real interesting wet race for everybody. So it started off with a little bit of chaos, but throughout the beginning of the whole track, every driver was able to keep it clean and keep it really non-penalties through the first half of the race, really. And then once the track started to dry up, you started to see some of those drivers make those entries into the pits, and that really helped some of these drivers out at the end of the day with this exciting race for everybody to take that finish.
Yeah, for sure. As we wait for these drivers to get in, yeah, the strategy was definitely interesting, especially with the start of the race being on full wet conditions, and then it went down to intermediates, and then a dry end to the race. So, yeah, you had to be on it in terms of strategy. Some people made extremely good calls. Some people, did not make the right calls. And yeah, whoever made the right calls did end up with some good points tonight. So, yeah, congratulations to everybody. I think. Yeah, that was probably one of the best first races we could have. So yeah, I think we got everybody in the booth here for the interviews. So first up, let's go over to Surazel, our P3 finisher. Hey Surazel, how you doing?
Good guys, how you doing?
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Fun race, huh? For your first race here.
Yeah, it was a fun one. That was interesting. I mean, with all the changes and pit strategies, it was a fun one. I thought I was gonna get P2 right there, but it's okay. I'm happy I got P3 with my first race. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And we got a very happy brother over here. So, any questions for Surazel here, Fragley?
Yeah, I guess I would just say when you were going around in the top and you were staying on your inters and you decided to stay out for your last lap, kind of what was the reason behind that?
Honestly, I was just trying to see what P1 was gonna do, and I honestly think I should have gone in one lap sooner, but I just followed. I didn't go in, and that was the decision I made, but ended up getting P3 anyway, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, great race.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like at one point in time you would get that P2, but yeah, maybe a little sooner on intermediate or going away from the intermediates, you would have probably had that P2. But still not a bad result. It's still a long season ahead. Yeah, so how was the first initial few laps though? Like it was all wet and yeah, I think you lost a little bit of ground to the top two at the start, but it looked like you were catching back up. Take us through the first few laps.
Yeah, I mean, when we came out, it was wet, it was slippery and sliding. So I was just trying to take it slow, keeping control of everything, and I managed to kind of keep position. And then eventually, I kind of started to see that dry line, and I just ended up being able to make up some speed on them right there. And then safety car kind of changed everything a little bit, but at that point, track was starting to dry up, and it was really just trying to keep in control and maintaining the car through the first half of the race, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's about all the questions I had. I can't think of anything else. Did you have any additional questions, Fragley?
Good guys, thank you. Let's have a good season.
Okay. Thank you, Surazel. Congratulations. Let's go on to Tin Man the Rowdy, P2. Hey, Tin Man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, good, doing good, thanks. Very long race, huh? Looked slippery and slidey for all 29 laps. How did you feel?
Yeah, for the most part, it was very slippery, especially at the beginning. I got caught up in whatever happened there, and I ended up having a damaged wing and just stayed out on it until I pitted for inters. My teammate, he went to the inters early on, and he said that he was gaining a lot of pace. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to swap to those then and just see how it goes. And then the safety car, well, when that came out, I'm like, well, I don't want to go to softs because they burn off quick. So I'll just go to mediums and see where we go. I didn't expect to get a podium. That was, you know, exciting for me. P3, that guy, me and him were going at it pretty hard there for that last little bit. And I'm like, oh, let's go, let's go. That was a good little battle with him, so that was very fun.
Yeah, for
But I'm
sure.
just glad to be back here. I haven't raced here since season 10, and I wanted to come back and do another season, so here I am.
Yeah, for sure. We're glad you're back, and yeah, that was a very fun drive at the end. Initially, though, it looked like you were battling out with I think it was Entree, Rainbow, a couple of others, but you weren't able to gain those positions. But yeah, I think at the end, the right strategy calls from your side. I think first going on to the inters, gained a few positions there, and then to the mediums again, a lot of positions as well. So congratulations on that. Uh, Fragley, any other questions for him? Paging Fragley. Can't seem to hear. Maybe some technical difficulties on his end.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Sorry
okay.
about that. Yeah. My only question for you was just like, how fast was your heart beating going once you passed Razzle in that last corner? Because, like you said, that was an intense battle that you guys had coming into that final lap and everything. So, um, yeah, I was just wondering, like, did you get nervous at all, or were you just like, finally, I passed him?
I wouldn't really say I was nervous. I just kind of kept my calm and just kind of just drove it like I would any other turn, like if nobody was really there. I knew he was there, but I just focused on what I was doing and didn't try to focus too much on him. That way I didn't panic or, do something dumb on my end. I just focused on what I was doing. My main thing,
Yeah,
I just wanted the podium when I saw I was able to get there. I'm like, okay, I want to get another podium. I want to be back in the booth with not the
Yeah.
same booth as it was, 2 years ago when I was here, but it's still good to be here.
and it's good to have you back. That was an exciting race and great racemanship by you. So, good job on that. Congrats on P2. And excited to see what you got for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to bring more to the table.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations, Tin Man. And now let's go over to our winner, Chipman. Hey, Chipman, how are you doing?
Doing all right. What's up?
What's up? First race of the season, first win.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Pretty solid. I was middle of the group all last season, so coming out on top the first race was unexpected, but welcome for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It seemed like you and ASAP Loggy there at the start, you were able to pull away from the rest of the grid.
Hmm.
And you guys were setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Looked like you were catching up to him, but then st slowly going back as well. Like you were maybe within a second for a lap or two and then going back a little bit. So talk us through that. Was it because you were both of you were maybe making tiny bit of mistakes, or was it just maybe you guys were using ERS differently, or was it just because, track evolution he kind of picked it up maybe faster than you or you him, something like that?
It'd be a lot of the above, honestly. I think we were
Hmm.
probably trading laps on ERS, try to get away and then me to catch back up, and then um, obviously everybody was kind of slipping and sliding for a lot of it, so it's just who can make the least amount of mistakes and capitalize on it, really.
Yeah, for sure. And right at the end there, from when you went from the intermediates onto the slicks, you saw. Did you ever think that maybe you'll try and fight it out till the end on those intermediate tires? Because ASAP Loggy did not choose to pit, and
Hmm.
that cost him. So was that ever in the back of your mind saying, "Okay, let me see if I can just go on to the end of the race. Maybe I'll just keep like top two or something like that," or you always knew once the track evolved with like 5 laps to go, you were for sure gonna pit.
I think it was more of a matter of when do I pit for the slicks.
Hmm.
Um, I have a friend that was on call with me, kind of being my race engineer, and he said just go for the softs now, and so I took it and it worked out.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunate for I think ASAP Locky, but you made the right calls and you got that victory tonight. So
Oh yeah,
congratulations. Uh,
for sure. I'm stoked.
yeah, frankly, any further questions?
I just know how wet it was in the beginning and everything. So, did you ever feel like you were battling with the car to keep it on track? Ever get one of those like slides where you're like, "Oh no, what is going to happen?" Because most of the track, it looked like you and P2 were just kind of taking the lead for most of the race. So just wondering how you felt kind of during that wet condition in the very beginning when it was the wettest.
Think I was really trying to be more cautious than ambitious to start it, so just to minimize the mistakes as much as possible, um, and see it. Hopefully, it works out. I guess
Yeah, and
it was definitely
obviously
very
it paid
slippery.
off.
Yeah,
Oh well, congratulations once again to you on a fantastic victory here. Challenging conditions, but you drove a fantastic race and well-deserved victory. Well-deserved podium as well to Tin Man and Surazzle. And I think we can wrap up the interviews as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us into the booth tonight, and good luck to you for the rest of the season.
appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. As just a second here. Well, folks, that is the end of round one. A fantastic race, a very challenging race for all of these drivers. A lot of different battles throughout the field. We saw some fresh faces doing well. Surazzle with a podium, Krev, I think, P5 with an expert strategy call. But it was the seasoned veteran of Chipman who eventually ended up with the victory. And yeah, overall, it was a fantastic first race. Any final thoughts, Fragley, before we end the stream tonight?
Just excited to see kind of the competition between all these drivers. As you can see tonight, everybody is real close, and it's going to be an exciting race. Excited for next week's race, which is Abu Dhabi, I believe, or Saudi
No, Saudi.
Arabia. Saudi. So excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be hopefully it's going to not be a safety car fest because it's so easy to put your car in the wall in that track. But I think today as well, it was probably a the conditions and the track as well. You would probably think there would be a lot of safety cars, but we just saw one and probably a one VSC or something, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, no, it was only one safety car,
No, we
right?
had one safety car.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
one safety car.
yeah, so that was extremely good driving from everybody, I gotta say, to keep the car on track for 29 laps, no mistakes, no real mistakes. There were some slips and slides, but you kind of have to give it to the drivers to be able to, still put up such good pace throughout the race and keeping it clean. So, yeah, really excited to see what the championship hold as well. Chipman is a reserve. So I hope he, comes back in and gets a full-time seat uh, if he so wishes. But yeah, he's in the fight. Razzle, excellent race. Tin Man, ASAP Loggy, he'll be looking to come back strong next race. He would think, that's 25 points lost for sure. So,
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there was definitely some big winners and big losers in this race, but it is the first race of the season, so lots of racing to do and lots of points to be scored. So it's still wide open for everybody.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think with that, I think we can end the stream here. Oh, wanted to ask you, how did you feel after your first stream in the comms booth? How was it like?
It was exciting. It was fun. Different way of experience these races than I've done previously since I've done racing in the league before, but just as a racer. So excited to be on the other side of the booth, and you're definitely able to see a lot more of the race, what's been going on between one and the bottom versus when you're just racing, you're just focused on your race and only your race. So really exciting and fun to watch everybody, and excited to get it started again and see how next week's goes.
Yeah, for sure. Especially today, though, you got to see a lot of mixed strategies, what people do, and it kind of maybe helps you prepare for your own race tomorrow. So, that's always it gives you a different perspective, and it's always fun to be on the booth. So excited to have you here, and go taking us through AM3 this season. Thank you for stepping in, and yeah, see you next week. Thank you for everybody tuning in as well. From the booth here, from Fragley and myself, Red Devil. See you all next week. Thank you. Have a good night.